The Ghana National Fire Service, in partnership with the Ghana Police Service, have arrested 4 persons, 3 men and a woman, for selling refurbished old and abandoned LPG cylinders at Swanlake Masalachi, a suburb of North Kaneshie in Accra. The refurbished cylinders, according to the National Fire Service, can explode when filled with liquefied petroleum gas. The fire service is therefore cautioning the public to look out for and avoid buying such whitewashed cylinders. We have been joined in the studio by the Deputy Director of Public Relations of the Ghana National Fire Service, DO3 Desmond Ackah, to help us understand the dangers associated with using old cylinders. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How do I know the cylinder I'm buying is not whitewashed?
All right, thank you for your question. The first thing that we should be mindful of when buying a cylinder is to look for the manufacturer details, especially with the manufacturer date, the ISO number, the serial number of the cylinder, as well as the pressure test value of the cylinder. These are the indicators on the cylinder which we must always look out for before we buy and establish.
Where exactly are those details located for a lay person going to buy a cylinder?
On the cylinder body, either on the head or the neck of the cylinder body, or just beneath the cylinder. These are the areas that we can look for these important values to inform us as to the efficacy of the cylinder to buy.
So meaning that when you look out for those details on the cylinder, it tells you, for instance, the expiry date, is that it? Or
yes, the manufacture date is very important.
Okay.
Because it gives you an idea as to whether the cylinder can hold the give or the desired pressure that it is designed for. So we want to caution the general public that any cylinder which is above 15 or more years after the date of manufacture should be checked before you buy, because such cylinders are old and cannot withstand the pressures for which they are made for.
You know, mostly you deal with the repercussions that come with we going to buy cylinders that we do not even know whether they are old or abandoned or whatever it is. So do you do monitoring? Do you go out there to even check those who sell on the street for us to go and buy to see if they have cylinders like that they are selling?
That has been a constant thing that we do. That is why we have even been able to arrest people who are into doing this illegal criminal activity. So we'll continue to do that to at least clamp down on such people, and then make sure the cylinders that we use in our homes and even our workplaces are safe to use.
So this incident at Masalachi, is that it? Swanlake?
Swanlake.
Is it the first time, and how were you even able to, know that this was going on there?
Like I earlier on indicated, we have been doing that, and then this time around we are involving the police to be able to bring punitive measures to such miscreants. What management has even directed that now is that our safety officers and even our intelligence units across the country should intensify their surveillance so as to be able to clamp down on such activities. We have been recording over the period some level of gas explosion fires, and that actually prompted us to intensify our surveillance in that area, and for which we have started making inroads with even arrest and all that. So we're going to continue with that too.
For such persons as you have arrested, what happens to them, and is it even punitive enough for somebody who is also looking to go into that business to see and decide not to even go into that?
Yes, I believe they themselves do not even know the dangers that they put themselves into, apart from putting the lives of people at risk, and then also selling cylinders which does not meet safety and then pressure regulations or pressure standards. They also endanger other people's life, and therefore what we have done, or what we're going to even do this time around, is to intensify our education so that the punitive measures, such as going for to serve jail terms and then even be made to even pay some monies, would be enforced. That is why the police have been roped in to be able to help us to achieve that.
Right, so
and we know that that is going to be deterrent enough for people to stop engaging in such criminal and illegal activity.
Now, as we speak of education, what can you tell us for people who use cylinders? What are the cautions they should take? What should they do and what should they not do to avoid the explosions we speak of?
Thank you. One thing we should realize is that these cylinders should not be treated, or they do not fall within ordinary waste. They are hazardous material, so to speak, and therefore, first of all, they should not be disposed of anyhow. And that is why we have even cautioned and advised that when you have an old cylinder, you have a rusted cylinder, you have no use for any cylinder, don't just go and dump it at the normal dumping site, but send it to a registered point where they collect these cylinders and then send it to manufacturers for further testing and then further works on them. And then also, we want people to be very much vigilant, not to sell their used or old or expired cylinders to people who may come to kind of pay them money to buy them as scraps. It lands in such premises and it could endanger people's life, and a lot of these fires may also occur. So that is why we are intensifying education and to ensure that these cylinders do not get out there to cause more havoc.
Offhead, can you give us some of the locations of these registered points that you speak of? If I have an old cylinder and I want to dispose it of, can you give me where I can go? Offhead, do you have? Yes,
we have these gas retail outlets. A lot of them have been registered to get these cylinders on board to be sent to the Ghana Cylinders Manufacturers Company Limited. So once we send them to them, they would be able to dispose them properly as we all require.
Any helpline for well-meaning Ghanaians who have seen, they say when we see something, we should say something.
Sure.
So any helpline for somebody who is willing to give up information to the fire service?
Yes, we have 030-277-2446, 030-277-2446, and then also you can reach us on 0299-341-46 to give us information to help us to clamp down on such illegal activity.
Finally, before you go, please repeat, what are we to look out for when we are going out to buy the cylinders? The information you said we should look out for.
Yes, we want to advise that we have to be cautious and then look out for the manufacturer date or the manufacture date. That helps us to know whether the extinguisher can serve its purpose. We should also be looking out for the ISO number. This number indicates that the cylinder has been done according to all the safety protocols that it deserves. Then also, we should also look for the pressure testing indicator mark on it. It tells you the amount of pressure that it can withstand, and then even the weight class or the size of the cylinder on the cylinder body, as well as the serial number, so as to be able to know that we are going in for a required cylinder that will not cause havoc to our homes and even our workplaces.
It is a lot to take in, but it is a collective responsibility for the user and the National Fire Service for us to avoid accidents that we can mainly do without. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your afternoon with us. And we have been speaking to DO3 Desmond Ackah. He is the Deputy Director of Public Relations of the Ghana National Fire Service.